American-born savages.
Blood in the earth where the runes scream and clash. Savages storm, we're the fire from the ash. Chills the war cry, I shatter the cage. Fist to the sky, I'm igniting the rage. Summit's my forge, I summon the horde. Savages march, throw your blade, strike the chord. Gather, scream, we're the storm, no retreat. Savages rise, feel the ground shake beneath. Nate the Celt with the ancients' war drum. Blood of the clans, I call you to come. Axes held high, through the mist we collide. Summit's the battle where the fearless abide. Gather, scream, we're the storm, no retreat. Savages rise, feel the ground shake beneath. Flash Martin, Goat Man, I'm the spark in the fray. Rogue of the wild, I'm carving the way. No chains, no fear, I summon the pack. Summit's our war, there's no turning back. Mad Mighty Mouse, I'm small but I crush. Voice like a hammer, I'm sparking the rush. Sith, broken Jedi, I roar through the strife. Summit's our blade, we're cutting through life. Gather, clash, savages storm the path. Rise, fight, we own the endless night. Chills, Nate, Flash, Matt, Sith we call. Savages unite, we'll never fall. Summit's the fire, the war that we wage. Storm through the dark, we're breaking the cage. Clocks summons the savages through Valhalla's gate. We charge! We charge! We charge! Gather round, the summit roars on. Through blood and ruin, our war carries on.
What's up, people? It's looking like we're back for episode 12 of the Summit of Savages. Tonight you're going to see a few different things. We're going to talk about the different stones around the world that have mystical properties according to his ancient history. We're going to talk about locations that have acoustic properties, things of that nature. We're changing things up a little bit. It's going to be more of a free flow. We have the topics. We're just going to discuss them and have the different actual verified information to discuss these topics. Tonight, you got me, you got Nate the Celt, and you got the kneecap of Matt, as you could see. But he's a little weird, so he's okay. Sad or Flash will not be making it. He has other obligations with his family, which not a problem. Called me earlier, said I can't make it. And Sith, well, Nate will get into discussing Sith between the next segments because he said he wanted to say something, and I figure we'll get into the first segment, then we'll talk about that. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the beginning in the first segment, and then we'll go from there.
And gas.
What the hell? Okay, sorry about that. I don't know why that popped up. I am pulling up my talking points. Okay, so we have different stones that have stories behind them from different cultures. What we're going to discuss tonight is a lot of the mystical stones. Research suggests mystical stones have diverse properties like healing, protection, and spiritual connection beyond the singing or moving stones that we were discussing last week. It seems like stones like opal, sapphire, and ruby have historical mystical attributes, but interpretations vary across many different cultures. The evidence does lean towards stones like the black stones of Mecca or the philosopher's stone having significant legendary roles, though some claim those are debunked or they are debated. Mystical stones have a fascinating culture, and this is worldwide. We have They have properties from healing, spiritual significance, if you believe it. However, we're not going to go just off of what people believe. We're going to look at some of the actual facts and the evidence of where it comes from, that idea. So, with that being said, Nate, I know you're a collector of stones. What information do you think that you should lay out there that you think would pertain to this conversation we're about to have?
Well, me personally, I feel that different stones give off different frequencies. Um, I know when I personally go to acquire a new one, um, I see if it resonates with me. If it doesn't resonate with me, I tend to leave it off to the side, look for a different one. There's been known healing properties with stones. Um, I mean, even go with quartz can hold a lot of data, and there's been theories that ancient civilizations used even just quartz stones to
Crystal
record data.
skulls. I think isn't that what you're talking about? Didn't they say
Yes.
that the one crystal skull, whenever IBM ran the tests on it, it was able to hold a mass amount of data or something? I can't remember exactly what was said, and it might have been a conspiracy theory I heard. I don't know. I just remember something being spoke about
Yeah, I mean, even with the crystal skulls, but I mean, even other um, ancient civilizations used just straight quartz crystals to harness power for the culture. It's been known that even different stones, if you plant them in with your crops, helps your crops grow.
it. Really? I never
I mean,
honestly.
me
I
personally, you know,
Nate. I know I
almost
got
everybody.
Nate. This is the honest to God truth. I know I got a chunk of Icelandic spar for my heritage, but I don't know very much about anything on there or anything of it because of the fact that I I got it because of my heritage. I mean, I'm Scandinavian. That it's who I am, and I know the Vikings had a lot of Icelandic spar. I think that's the name of it. But anyway, other than that, my old lady's into the crystals and the stones and stuff like that, and she's probably going to be aggravated that I didn't even inform her that's our topic right now. Like, she might get violent with me over this, but she wouldn't be on a podcast because she's recovering. So, and no, I'm not saying from anything psychotic. She had a surgery on Tuesday, and she just has to recover now. So, with that being said, go ahead and
She
finish
needs
what you were
that
saying.
rest.
Yeah, go ahead and finish what you were saying.
I mean, it's been shared before about my battle with cancer. I have a specific stone here that was gifted to me, and it helped me in my battle. I believe. I feel that you know it helped balance me out and help with my battle against the cancer. Um, some people may say, it's just, what a placebo effect type deal, but whether it is or isn't, I still feel that this crystal helped with my battle and helped me fight the cancer a little bit more than what the radiation and chemotherapy did.
I wonder Okay, besides the healing properties of the stones, and we're going to go right back to it, so I'm not trying to deviate too far from this conversation, but I wonder if it's more than a placebo effect and it's a belief system. I wonder if you believe hard enough, or if there's some way to make your brain believe hard enough that something's helping you, if it actually can help you. Because we've seen the placebo effect too many times where it actually works.
Yeah. And that's why I use that term placebo effect, because some people say that's all it was. I willed it into, I believed that this crystal was going to help me, so therefore it did. It's like, okay, maybe it did, but I know personally, it. I believe it helps me, and not just you know going, oh, well, I got a crystal and it's going to help me. No, I believe that the power of the crystal resonating with my body helps heal me. That's
Gotcha.
why I keep it so close to me at an arm's length every every moment I'm home.
I'm texting the old lady telling her to open it up.
Yeah, she can at least text and watch and
Yeah.
text in the.
Here, I'm gonna call her live so everybody can see that I'm calling her, but I'm not putting her on camera because she'll kill me because she's late. Okay, so you need to open up the podcast because we're discussing properties of stones and the healing and all that mystical properties. So, with you being somebody that is very, very well educated on this shit, we need you. So, obviously, you don't want to be on camera because you're in your nightgown and you're healing. So, why don't you either come down here and stand behind my computer, or sit in that big ass comfy chair, or open it up on your phone. Bye bye. I love you. She coming down.
Awesome.
I think she might have to get into Discord. But let's go ahead and while she's coming down, I'm gonna mention some of the ones that are notable. These are notable mystical stones from history. These are documented mystical stones with unique properties drawn from historical or cultural records. Opal is known for its myster, Shanna, just a heads up, there's a camera right there. Okay. Opal is known for its mystical and spiritual qualities. It's believed to amplify supernatural abilities and aid in reaching higher spiritual states. You should probably put your headphones on so you can be in Discord and hear what Nate's saying. They're dead. Oh. So what am I doing? Am I going to Discord? You're on camera. Okay. Do you just want to come on camera? I thought you were in a nightgown. You're in a dress. Yeah. Okay, so bring a damn chair over. No, Nate. Or chair. Yeah, hey, well, you would have to sit like that in front of that camera. But that's my chair. Oh, goddamn. Okay, hey Matt, it looks like you got to grab a stool and come over on this side of me. Oh, okay. The stream just got a little bit larger, and we got the special guest Satan. Okay. Yes, no, maybe so. Quite possibly, if they're not dead. I think I charged them and then I hung them up. And let me turn my Bluetooth off on here. Now, this is a spur of the moment thing that we're bringing the old lady on here. So, for anybody that gets mad, this is not technical issues. This is just we need more information, and we'd rather have somebody that has more education on the things we talk about if we could get that person.
Yeah, because I can only carry the weight so far.
Yeah, exactly. He can only carry the weight so far.
Yeah, because I'm a practitioner.
Hey, you don't start swinging on me. You're too close now. I had to move.
Punch you in the side of the head.
Okay, hold on. I gotta adjust some things.
Close. I don't want no Roblox.
Okay, look, I got Matt behind me, and he's scaring me again.
How?
Because you got a gigantic head.
I get it from my mom.
What am I joined, boys?
Okay, we'll move Nate
Channel it.
over.
I gotta go to the lobby. Sorry.
Okay,
I don't know how to do this.
you got the headphones
Yes.
connected? Okay, there we go.
Keeps telling me channel's full.
Join.
And while we're actually going to have Matt facing the camera for a change.
Shut up. There's your camera's right there.
I
sweet.
know it's right there. Do I want to look at it? No.
Maybe. Okay, let me open up this. There you go.
Okay.
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 Oh no, you
Oh
better
no,
mute
you
me.
better get
Right here, I gotta
over
mute.
here.
Mute who?
Mute who?
You.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I'm gonna hear you the whole time. And mute your microphone.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So as I was talking before, Satan got involved with it. Opal's known for mystical and spiritual qualities. It's believed to amplify supernatural abilities and aid in reaching higher spiritual states. Sapphire is associated with heavenly connections. It's thought to open passages to celestial realms and enhance intuition. I don't know about that, but anybody want to donate a thing of sapphire so we could see if we could like open up a realm?
Amethyst does the same thing.
Ruby linked to invincibility and passion. It was historically credited with protecting warriors in battle. I don't know. I don't see. This is where it gets me. I don't think none of this would actually work. Connected to nature is emerald. It's said to soothe the soul and treat ailments, symbolizing fertility and renewal. Diamond, reverend for protection against evil and healing. It was used in elixirs to cure illnesses.
Yes, and it's the Herkimer diamond that was.
Okay. Labradorite, a stone of magic. It enhances intuition, spiritual growth, used in medication. Moldavite, a rare tektite believed to accelerate spiritual growth, linked to extraterrestrial origins. Matt, is that what your probe was made out of?
What?
Look at Nate not trying to die. Okay, the Black Stone of Mecca, a meteorite central to Islamic pilgrimage, symbolizing divine connection. I'm not so sure if that is actually a meteorite, and by what I'm about to say, I don't want people to take offense like I'm trying to go after any a specific religion, culture, not like that. But if you take offense, seek therapy. Um, when it comes to the Mecca, is it a meteorite? Can we prove it's a meteorite, or could it be a material that we just it's like orichalcum, where we knew it existed, but we haven't really known where what it was until recently.
It falls on the lines as like the Moldavite. It's a product of a meteorite.
Well, it says a meteorite central to Islamic pilgrimage.
Yes, it's created from a certain meteorite.
Then we have Lapsit Exilis, the Grail Stone, a legendary stone from heaven said to heal and bring prosperity to medieval tales. That is not something I have any knowledge of at all. I know of the Umer and Tiburon, I think it's called. The stones that David spoke to God with, if that's your religion. We got the Philosopher's Stone. It's a alchemical legend believed to transform metals into gold and grant immortality. Okay, so that's just
What's
a
up, Scrog?
What's up, Scrog? Look, we got Shanna the Violet on. I had to put Nate between us so he could take the abuse for a little bit. Okay.
I'll do that. That's what friends are for.
This was all brought up because of the mystical moving stones and the singing stones. I'm going to get more information on the singing stones and then we'll come back to these ones because I'm wondering if they're actually connected by material. Yeah, she is a real savage. But the leprechaun had to move over to this side now. He ran far away from her so she didn't hit him. Okay. Singing stones, also known as lithophones or ringing rocks, are stones that produce musical or resonant sounds when struck, tapped, or otherwise interacted with. These natural no, that's not the same singing stones. Ancient. No, was it statues? Nate,
I don't think they were statues.
I swear there was Egyptian statues that sung.
That one I don't recall.
The Colossi of Memnon. The Colossi of Memnon are two colossal stone statues of Pharaoh Amenhotep III, standing about 18 meters, 60 feet tall, located on the west bank of the Nile near the Valley of the Kings, close to modern day Luxor, Egypt. It was built around, this is what they claim now. I'm not so sure about any dates. If I state a date that is being listed of when something is built and I'm reading it off of something, it is not a date that I will agree with, just to make sure that's verified. They were claimed to be built around 1350 BCE during New Kingdom 18th dynasty. These statues were part of Amenhotep III's mortuary temple, which was largely destroyed over time. They're made of quartzite sandstone quarried from somewhere near Cairo and transported over 400 miles. The singing phenomenon. The Colossi, particularly the northern statue, became famous in antiquity for producing a mysterious sound described as a whistle, hum, or a song, typically heard at dawn. This phenomenon earned the reputation as the mystical or oracle statues. This is what I was talking about, Nate, when I said the statues. These statues actually made noise. How the hell were they able to do that back
Well, I mean, Shannon would probably agree with me. Like when I said earlier, how when I'm choosing my different stones, I see if it resonates with me. You got to think if it's something this small and I'm, you know, dealing with its resonance. Imagine a giant statue.
Rainbow fluorite.
What the resonant frequencies it's going to give off that everybody can hear, whether it resonates with you personally or not.
then? What is it?
I mean,
Shanna said that's rainbow fluorite. Is that what it is?
yes,
My spoilers.
that, that's exactly what it is.
Basically, I think, okay, if you mix quartz with a change of magnetic frequency, it's going to ring and sing.
Okay. I got a question. I think it would come from your realm. What happens if we add mercury?
To what?
Quartz and sandstone. The Colossi of Memnon, they say, let me see. It said it's made out of sandstone, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
quartz and
sure.
sandstone.
Quartzite and sandstone. So what if we add mercury?
Because
Would it scream like death metal?
probably.
No, I don't know, but that would be cool. Okay. Now let's go back to what we was talking about with the original stones. So where do you think we should would they just float? I don't know. See, I think that there's too much about Mercury that we don't know yet. And if we understood more about Mercury, we might actually be able to get past some of the barriers when it comes to travel. Okay, so what stones do you think? Let's go into these singing stones you were talking about, Nate. What do you think were the singing stones?
I'm re- rephrase that question. I'm
What
trying
would
to
be
grasp what you
considered?
meant.
What would be considered singing stones?
I mean, technically, all stones sing.
Yeah,
It's
if I
just
throw them at Matt and it bounces off them,
no. But I mean,
he'll
like
sing.
I've said, they give off a frequency, so they all sing. It's just, can you match with them or not?
I agree, Scrog. That's what I was talking about too. Um,
I mean, Shannon, wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes, they all give off a different frequency. It's just how
And
you hear and feel said frequency.
yes,
Like if you add copper to the equation, the frequency intensifies.
look,
exactly.
these.
That's why a lot of people, when they wear stone necklaces with stones in them, they're twined in copper.
Okay.
And all stones are magnified by quartz.
Wait, here, because when we're talking about the Colosseum Memnon, they are two colossal quartzite sandstone statues.
Mm-hmm.
So they are quartz. But the whistling didn't start until after an earthquake hit.
Yeah, a magnetic change.
It began producing that sound.
But you got
These,
remember it density, size, composition, all the job. I agree with that, Scrog. Density, size, composition would affect the output, but you need, like, since these are so huge, with a you know magnetic effect from the earthquake, it stored that resonant frequency from the earthquake, and it would let it out
well, wait a
occasionally.
minute. Okay, so I understand where you guys are going with this now. But there was actual singing stones. This is where we ended up running into all the confusion. There was and there still is stones that were used in ancient times that they would hit that sounded like a bell.
Yes.
That's what I thought you were referring to the whole time, Nate. So my bad on that. Those stones would have been the Burnin Kadu in Nigeria, the Sao Island in Sudan. There's rock gongs from the Kerma culture, and that's 25 to 1500 BC. Um, you got Tanzania, the pastoralist community used rock gongs, and then they have them for mystical significance. So then that takes you to the question, and this is probably the best part of it all. The question is, are you guys all small minded with these little tiny pebbles?
Absolutely not.
You absolutely are. You guys absolutely are.
How's that?
Why do you say that?
Because these sons of bitches was using gigantic boulders. You guys are using little tiny pebbles. What happens if you get a big ass boulder of that stone you have, the rainbow thing?
Um, there are healing chambers made out of larger forms
Okay,
of crystals.
but what I'm saying is, are you really getting enough out of it compared if you, okay, so you got, I don't want to put something that can get, here we go, a quarter. So you got a stone as big as this quarter. And this stone is supposed to, I got a better example. Here's a yellow jade necklace, and this is supposed to bring me clarity and fame. Okay? It's golden jade. Now, if I can't say that it worked or it didn't work. It was a gift to me, so I wear it because it was a gift from Frenchie. But if I had a way larger piece, would it actually be clearly able to work to where it's visibly seeable? Are you
Yes.
guys on such a minute level by collecting the smaller ones that you don't realize you need the larger ones to be able to produce the actual effects that you're trying to reach for? That's what I'm
I wouldn't.
saying.
There's a detailed answer to this. Okay, the stones are only as powerful as their user.
Well, no, 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 because now you're going to make me say that word, and I don't like saying that word. But what about people with the retard strength?
No, I'm
Hmm?
not talking in physical strength.
I'm talking in mental strength too.
Okay, then that particular
Oh,
scenario,
God. You could be a genius.
it's the stones are as strong as the healer. The healer's mental capacity.
That's the thing. See, is it the only option to heal with them? Is there other things that could be done with them that is not healing that we bypass because we look only at the smaller picture?
Yes, there's plenty of things that could be done with them.
Okay, so
What is wrong?
he got burned real bad just now.
Oh,
So we can continue this topic or we can move on to the second topic. There are only two topics. It is you guys' call. Would you like to
Let's
stick
stick on
around
this
for the
one for a
second
little
topic?
I
Oh,
don't know what it
okay. Well, we're gonna. Well, then you guys got to move on with it because I don't know what the hell else to talk about because I'm not into it.
is.
bit.
The next topic is the hypogeum, which is also to do with sound on, but it's acoustic location where they built. You got to wait for the topic, but it's something you might.
I'll listen because I don't have any facts on that.
I got some facts, but well, we're sticking on this one for now, I guess. So, so it makes me wonder because there was a story that floated around, and I don't know if it was ever verified or not verified, and I'd actually like to look into it if I could remember about the sunken pyramids near Cuba where they supposedly found crystals down there that were the size about 3 feet large, and it makes me wonder, like, what if that's what they could have been practicing? Because I've always thought that they use sonic vibrations, but I don't know how they would be able to gather the gamma rays to produce such a high vibration to lift up the stones for like this. And they're able to somehow point gamma rays or radiation, gamma radiation directly at the crystal. Would it be able to culture enough of it to be able to form the sonic vibrations?
Actually, yes, because there's
I don't.
radioactive crystals.
But that would be like saying that we'd be able to use mercury to disintegrate a crack into it. Because if you hit the mercury with sonic vibrations, it causes cavitation, and that just causes a straight break. So I mean, I for it to be there, I really have. And lapis, they were crushing that. They were rubbing it all over. Like why? About the stones. What about the air stone? What about the air stone, Nate?
What do you mean airstone?
I forget what it's called.
There was a stone found in Africa a couple years back, and it was complete CO or it was complete oxygen.
Yeah, it looks like blue apatite, but it's not.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to look that one up. I haven't heard of that one yet. It sounds like it looked pretty cool.
No, this is something that it came out years ago, but I forget what it was on. I forget what it was called. It was like the Nigerian Airstone or something. What was the blue stone made of 100% oxygen? The Sky
Sky
Stone.
stone.
Okay, so let me pull that up. We don't want to edit that. Sky Stone. The Sky Stone or Blue Stone is rumored to have been made with 100% oxygen is a misnomer, while some analysis of the stone found in Sierra Leone did show a high percentage of oxygen, around 77%. The stone is not entirely oxygen and is not naturally occurring. It's more accurately described as, they say, a man made material, possibly a type of concrete or stucco. How in the hell are you going to make see through blue stucco or concrete? I need some of that. I will do my whole driveway in that. You walk in and you feel like you're royalty walking up my driveway.
Wow.
Okay, so
That's
now
funny.
let's. Well, I had Grok pull up information. Angelo Petoni, while investigating diamond deposits, was shown a stone by the Fola chief. Local folklore claimed the stones were once sky dwelling beings transformed into stones by God for their transgressions into earth, explaining the region's diamonds' wealth in sky blue 50. It says sky blue stone, 55,000 year old artifact made of oxygen. Protect yourself, Skystone legend, the unexplained oxygen stone, and it's this DS. I'm not giving. It's a website where you can go and learn more about it. It's described as a blue stone with the mysterious white lines on its surface. It's reportedly lightweight for its size, perplexing observers like American artist Jared Collins, who noted its stone like yet unusual texture. Skystone, the fascinating stories that follow on Earth. Another website. I don't care about none of that website shit. Laboratories in Rome, Germany, and Tokyo allegedly analyzed the stone, finding it composed of 77% oxygen, 20% carbon, lime, calcium compounds, and traces of silicone and other elements. Additional tests in Spain, X ray analysis, and plasma spectrometry, gas. Wow, they did a lot of tests. I'm not reading all them. Reportedly confirmed, these findings suggest the stone's composition is unlike any known terrestrial rock. Carbon dating estimates the stones arrived on Earth between 2,500 and 17,000 years ago, supporting the meteorite hypothesis. Okay, the mystical and cultural significance. The Fula people, influenced by Quranic teachings, view the stones as divine artifacts, remnants of fallen angels or sky beings, linking them to spiritual or cosmic origins. The modern appeal, collectors value the sky stone for its rarity and its extraterrestrial mystique, comparing its allure to antique jewelry that carries historical or cosmic stories. So these stones go for millions of dollars, but it's just concrete from 17,000 years ago.
Mhm.
Okay. So what do you guys think of this one?
I would go with the meteorite. I can definitely see it.
You don't think we could have produced that back 20,000, 30,000 years ago? Scrog says arrived on Earth. But you don't think that we could have produced that?
I mean,
Awesome.
we look at our historical people like they were stupid, and I feel that we're the stupid ones. We're looking at them like they were. There's something that they have that we don't.
Anything's possible. So could have.
But hey, whatever. Nate, I need you to do me a favor.
So,
I need you to make a GoFundMe for yourself to finally be able to buy your Sky Stone and just break me off a little piece. I just want a little tiny piece to see what it looks like.
I'll get right on that.
Okay, so we are going to go to the second topic, which is this is going to be a fun one. While we're in the transition of moving over to the next topic, Nate, you asked me for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I need a few minutes. I do want to
Hold
kind
on
of
1 second.
apologize.
For just 1 second, I got to restart this camera, not the old ladies. So you're going to see it disappear. Resume, Nate.
Want to apologize to our viewers for a second. When we first got this group together, it was all under agreement and commitment to do this podcast, The Sum of the Savages. Unfortunately, one of the members has failed to do their part in this and is constantly gone. So, as of tonight, Sith will no longer be a part of the Sum of the Savages. The commitment from him, the beginning was, you know, it was all for it, and I think the man's only been to one, like two, maybe three of our shows.
Maybe
Um,
two. Maybe
and
three.
I
You might be right.
want to do it better for our viewers. You know, we take pride in this. Chills and I, Matt, Flash, all take pride in this. You know, we want to do it better for you guys. So
Okay.
from tonight on, unfortunately, Sith is gone.
Before this topic ends, I want to make the comment. When Nate said he wanted a few minutes to talk about some things and I might be upset about it, my response to him is I own the equipment, not the human. So you say whatever you want and you do whatever you feel is necessary. For anybody that is unaware, including Sith himself if he sees this, Nate is the right hand of this podcast. Without Nate, I would never have done this podcast again. So just to make that very clear. Now we can resume to the everyday topics. The next one will be the hypogeum. The hypogeum of Hal Salfini. And I know I butchered that word. Thank you very much for being pissed off. The hypogeum, built around 3600 to 2500 BCE by the Neolithic temple culture of Malta, is a subterranean complex carved from limestone. Its acoustic properties, particularly in the oracle room, point to a purposeful use of sound as a form of ancient technology. Here's the evidence. The oracle room walls are shaped to resonate a special low frequency 110 Hz to 114 Hz and 68 to 70 Hz, as confirmed by studies like those from the Pearls Project in 2014 and the archaeoacoustic research by Paleo Dabertelis. These frequencies are amplified by the deep male voice or instrument, like a horn or a drum used in a specific niche. The chamber's dimensions are tuned to within 10 to 25 centimeters to sustained resonance, suggesting intentional engineering. Now, I could speak a little bit on this. I do make music once in a blue moon. Okay, I used to make it all the time. And keeping a concrete level resonance is one of the hardest things to do, no matter how much of the soundproofing that you use. It's still there's still going to be effects where you'll hear you can tell a difference. Okay, sound from the oracle room niche can carry through the complex, creating a reverberating effect, audible in other chambers, which could have been used to simulate an oracle or divine presence. So what this was doing is they were able to go in there and they would be like, "Your balls are dropping," and it would just go through all the different chambers and scare the shit out of people. Tell me that wouldn't be cool. But this is the technology that these people used back in the day. They have psychoacoustic effects. In 2008, UCLA study by Dr. Ian Cook found that 110 hertz exposure affects the brain activity, reducing language processing in the prefrontal cortex and enhancing emotions or meditative states. So you could dumb yourself down with some of the sounds, but it'll allow you to meditate, which some people might need to do that actually. It might be a positive thing. This aligns with the hypogeum's likely use in rituals, where altered states in consciousness could have been induced. So that makes me wonder, were the first people that were hallucinating using sound to do it? Nate, do you think they could have used sound to do it?
Well, quite possibly. And I mean, you're talking about how the sound waves affect you. I mean, and to help like meditate. How often do we try to relax and our mind just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling? And those sound waves stop that roll and calm you down to where you're able to mellow out mentally.
Wait a minute.
I mean,
Same
Wait a
thing.
minute. Hold up. Listen to this. I asked Grok. Yes, sound waves, particularly at extreme frequencies or intensities, can potentially cause hallucinations. Low frequency infrasound below 20 hertz has been associated with feeling unease, anxiety, and even auditory and visual hallucinations due to its inability to interact with the human body and brain in subtle ways. Oh, dude, if they were doing that to people back in the day, that's messed up. Come
well, you
on
also got
now.
to think. Do you remember? Oh, I want to say it was in high school. They were talking about the brown note. That if you hear it, it's a certain frequency, certain note. If you'd hear it, it would make you either have something come out the top end or the basement
Yeah, I know exactly
automatically.
what you're talking about. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
think that was real though. Okay, so let me go ahead and finish this though. High intensity ultrasound on specific sound patterns, like those used in certain experimental or therapeutic settings, can also influence perception and potentially induce hallucinations. Research is ongoing, but cases like the Taos home or reports from haunted locations suggest a link through the exact mechanisms are not fully understood. For the latest insights in web research or analysis of recent studies might provide. That makes you wonder: is that tied to the hauntings? Is it just sounds that's being able to be produced that allows the hauntings to happen?
You're absolutely correct.
Who in the hell is? I can't talk to you.
Like I studied Reiki healing for a while. Frequencies changes a lot in our
I'm
brain.
live. I'll call you back. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep. See, even Scroggs heard of the brown
Listen,
note, and
listen, Matt.
Oh.
If I can get this sound on next week's podcast, will you stand in front of the camera and let me play the sound in your headphones to see the results?
No.
oh, come on, Matt,
No. I'm good.
take one for the team.
What? No.
My sister's husband just bought her a Lexus. That's why she was calling me. You won't do it.
Steven Scrogg wants you to do it.
I got an idea. Hey, Flash, we need you to listen to this. Yes, it'll be for science, and I'll just tell Flash I want him to hear it while we're live on the next stream or next week's podcast.
Yeah, we won't tell him why.
I'll just like,
we'll just tell him
Flash.
we're going to be part of the scientific process here.
No, I already figured it out. Hey, Flash, we're gonna listen to this sound. It's supposed to relax you. Let me know if it relaxes you. I take my headphones off. I click the button. I play the button. Then we watch Flash turn green, and I hurry up and press his camera as it starts flying. Don't worry, Matt, because if it don't work, we gotta test it on you.
No, why me?
Because you're Matt.
You're the young one of the group.
Wait, Nate, me and you was discussing this with Matt earlier. Do we need to get into this church mouse discussion live on stream?
Uh-huh.
The church mouse battle that you're having. He knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, the only way that trick won't work is if Flash is naturally a negative producing person. Positive and negative frequency.
No, because if that's how it is, didn't Nikola Tesla make that one guy shit himself with electricity? We'll use both methods on Matt.
It depends if their body produces positive or their body produces negative.
We can let me pull up the brown note. What's the brown? See, this conversation just went into chaos. Forget the hypogeum. We're more focused on a brown note.
For science, that's why.
A popular myth about a hypothetical infrasonic frequency, typically between 5 and 9 hertz below the range of human hearing, that supposedly causes involuntary bowel movements by resonating with the human gastrointestinal tract. Despite its mention in media and South Park and investigations by shows like Mythbusters, scientific tests have found no evidence to support this existence. Infrastructure can be felt in the body. Okay. Did Mythbusters prove it, though?
And we'll have Matt help us prove it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
How will you know?
I wouldn't, but nuh-uh.
No, listen. Because we could really make something out of this. Using a combination of custom-built infrasound generator and large system, they exposed themselves and volunteers to frequencies around 5 to 9 hertz at the highest intensities. Despite its efforts, including some humorous moments, they found no evidence that the sound triggered shitting of themselves. Okay, so.
We'll just add quotes to it.
So listen. I think we could make a show out of this, and we could name it "Can He Do It?" And every Sunday we'll just release it, but we could record it another day, where we use a frequency or something to make Matt try to shit himself.
Wow.
Whether it be the brown note, a little bit of electricity in the front of the toe or something, who knows? But I think we can make a show of this. What do you think, Matt?
I didn't sign up for this.
Dude, you never have to show that you shit yourself. Everybody will see it run down your legs. So you're good.
What?
No. Well, I'll get him a pair of Huggies. He'll be okay.
I love Mythbusters. Might have to look this one up. I don't blame you. It says it was season 1, episode 2. So that should be able to help you find it easier. Well, it looks like we've made it the hour for the podcast, and this one was actually interesting. Matt barely talked again. You got to pull your weight. You're going to be brown noted. We got to make it like the searching for the mythical brown note, and Matt will be one of the main hosts because he's going to be the one that we're going to test it on. At least you're not the guy online that's letting all the different bugs bite him and shit. That dude,
Yeah, that's
that dude
stupid.
put his hand in the nest of the killer hornets, and they were fucking him up. No, all you got to do is let us like play a sound for you or something, and if you crap
So-
yourself, it's going to be hilarious.
But I
It's
don't
all
wanna
it's all
crap
in the name of
myself.
science. Though.
It's all in the name of science, he said.
Yeah, but I don't want to crap myself.
Well,
It's
then we'll
okay.
see
We'll
if
get
you
you
can
done.
squeeze. Listen, if he can squeeze them cheeks tight enough, he'll be safe. So next week on Some of the Savages, Matt will shit himself. All right. So let me go ahead and I guess we'll go to the outro. And then, hey, just for everybody, so everybody knows, the topics that I stream some of this, or the locations I stream some of the Savages on, or the locations I respect, such as Rumble or YouTube. I'm also streaming on TikTok,
Oh,
but that's
boy.
not going to be some of the Savages. That's just going to be cHiLzTheSavage. So check it out because I'll be live later pissing people off. And that's what I do best. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go and do the outro monologue. Nope, no music this time. Nope, I can't turn it off. There we go. Okay, look, I got this one. Watch this. Hey, everybody see the magic? Okay,
Magic.
so this was the Some of the Savages, episode 12. And it was actually more enjoyable than a lot of the other ones. Why? Because we get to relax and just go with the flow. I'm sick of trying to have everything in perfect order and trying to rely on people that do not show. So, as you see the changes coming, don't take them personal. If it makes the show better and more fun, then that's the idea of what we're trying to do. So, until next week, stay savage, relax, and go check out more on my channel. With that being said, I'm out of here, and so is the crew.